For years, Kirk Frost managed to keep his secrets locked away, hidden behind a carefully crafted image of charm and devotion. But now, Rasheeda Frost, at 48 years old, has decided to reveal the truth, a truth so shocking it could change the way the world views the couple. Kirk, known as the smooth-talking, reliable husband and loyal partner to Rasheeda, built his public persona on the foundation of their seemingly unshakable bond. Together, they navigated the highs and lows of fame, weathered the storms of reality TV, and emerged as a couple many admired. Their empire, including the well-known Frost Bistro, symbolized their shared vision, hard work, and commitment to one another. They appeared to have it all: success, love, and a family that seemed untouchable. Yet, behind the facade of their power couple status, cracks in their relationship had long been forming. Rasheeda and Kirk's marriage has always been a topic of public interest. From rumors and whispers to outright allegations, the couple faced their share of challenges. Still, they maintained an air of privacy, addressing their struggles behind closed doors. For years, Rasheeda stood by Kirk, fiercely protecting their family, their business, and their love. But as time went on, the weight of their secrets became too much to bear. At the age of 48, she has reached a turning point, no longer willing to carry the burden of Kirk's hidden life. She's stepping into the light to reveal the truth that has haunted her for years, a truth Kirk believed would never surface. Rasheeda reflects on the moments when things began to change in her marriage. The subtle signs were there: Kirk's late nights, his distant behavior, and his defensiveness when asked simple questions. At first, Rasheeda tried to dismiss these red flags. She attributed them to the pressures of work and the demands of their shared business. "I didn't want to believe it," she admits. "I thought I was just overthinking things, but deep down, I felt something wasn't right." As a woman deeply in love, Rasheeda placed her trust in the man she married. She wanted to believe in the version of Kirk who had been her partner through thick and thin, the father of her children, and the man who promised her forever. But that trust would soon be shattered. The turning point came when Rasheeda uncovered undeniable proof of Kirk's infidelity. For years, she had harbored suspicions, but finding incriminating text messages on his phone confirmed her worst fears. "It was like my whole world came crashing down," Rasheeda recalls, her voice tinged with pain. "I had always given him the benefit of the doubt, but this was something I couldn't ignore anymore." The betrayal wasn't a fleeting mistake or a one-time lapse in judgment. Kirk's affair was a long-standing relationship, one he had managed to keep hidden from Rasheeda for years. "I never imagined it would be this bad," she says, to find out that he had been seeing someone else, someone who would later become the mother of his child. "It was a level of betrayal I wasn't prepared for." The revelation of Kirk's affair was devastating, but the discovery of a hidden child added another layer of heartbreak. Rasheeda learned about the child through a friend, someone who couldn't keep the secret any longer. "I didn't even know she existed," Rasheeda confesses, referring to Kirk's other woman. "He kept her and the baby a secret from me, from everyone." The pain of discovering that Kirk had been leading a double life was almost unbearable. The man she thought she knew had been hiding an entire chapter of his life from her, a chapter that included another woman and a child she never knew existed. When Rasheeda finally confronted Kirk, he initially denied everything. He looked her in the eyes and insisted that she was imagining things, but Rasheeda's determination to uncover the truth was unshakable. "He tried to make me feel like I was crazy," she says, "but I knew something was off. I could feel it." As Rasheeda pressed him, Kirk's web of lies began to unravel. He could no longer deny the affair or the existence of his child. The moment he confessed, it felt like the ground beneath me had been ripped away, Rasheeda shares. "It wasn't just the affair, it was the years of lies, the way he made me doubt myself. That was the hardest part to accept." Emotional toll. The betrayal took a profound emotional toll on Rasheeda. For years, she had believed in the strength of their marriage, in the love they shared, but Kirk's actions made her question everything. I kept asking myself, how could I not have known? How could I have missed this? She says. It made me doubt my worth, my judgment, everything about myself. Rasheeda describes the sleepless nights, the tears, and the overwhelming sense of loss she felt in the wake of Kirk's betrayal. It was like I was drowning in my own emotions, she admits. I didn't know how to come up for air. Despite the pain, Rasheeda knew she couldn't let Kirk's actions define her. She began the difficult process of healing, leaning on her family and friends for support. They reminded me of my strength, even when I didn't feel it, she says. Rasheeda also found solace in taking control of her narrative. By sharing her story, she began to reclaim her power and rebuild her sense of self. Love doesn't mean you have to accept disrespect, she says, her voice filled with both sadness and strength. I loved him, but I had to choose myself. As Rasheeda looks toward the future, she is determined to rebuild her life on her own terms. While the betrayal will always be a painful chapter in her story, it won't define who she is or the life she creates moving forward. I'm stronger now, she says with resolve. This won't break me. I'm going to move forward, not just for myself, but for my family. Rasheeda's decision to share her story is more than an act of catharsis. It's a testament to her resilience and her commitment to living authentically. Though the road to healing is long, she is determined to emerge stronger, wiser, and more empowered than ever before. Despite the pain, Rasheeda remains resolute in her determination to heal and move forward. I'm not going to let this break me, she says, her voice firm with conviction. I'm stronger than I've ever been. It's been a long road, but I'm taking it one step at a time. The emotional struggle has been one of the hardest challenges Rasheeda has ever faced, but she is determined to rise above it. I'm going to heal. I'm going to come out of this stronger, and I'm going to be better for it, she says, her words laced with unwavering determination. The revelation of Kirk's affair and the existence of a hidden child altered Rasheeda and Kirk's marriage irrevocably. For years, they had weathered the ups and downs of life together, building what seemed like a solid foundation. However, this secret delivered a blow neither of them could have anticipated. It wasn't just the affair, it was the lies, the betrayal, Rasheeda shares, her voice trembling with emotion. It wasn't just one thing that hurt me, it was everything that came with it. The trust that had once been the cornerstone of their relationship was now shattered. I didn't know if I could ever look at him the same way again, she admits. The man I thought I knew, the man I trusted, felt like a stranger to me. The affair's impact rippled through every facet of their marriage. Rasheeda describes how it changed their communication, their interactions, and even how they viewed each other. We stopped talking the same way. We couldn't look at each other without that wall of hurt and anger between us, she reflects. The love was still there, but it was buried beneath layers of pain. Intimacy gave way to distance, and their once connected lives felt like separate worlds. We were both hurting, but we didn't know how to fix it, Rasheeda confesses. It felt like we were living in the same house, but in two completely different realities. Moving forward after such a devastating betrayal was one of the hardest battles Rasheeda had ever faced. The emotional weight of the situation was overwhelming. We've been through so much, but this was the hardest thing I've ever had to face, she says, her voice thick with emotion. I didn't know how to forgive him. I didn't know if I could ever trust him again. Rebuilding their marriage felt impossible at first. Rasheeda admits that she was torn between her love for Kirk and the pain he caused. I loved him, but I didn't know if love was enough to fix this, she says, uncertainty evident in her tone. I didn't know if I could ever get over the hurt he caused me. The internal struggle was relentless. There were days when I wanted to walk away, Rasheeda admits. I wanted to leave to protect myself from more pain. But there were other days when I wanted to fight for us, for the family we had built. This conflict between her heart and mind was overwhelming, forcing Rasheeda to dig deep and figure out what was best for herself and her children. I had to take a step back and really think about what I wanted, she says. It wasn't an easy decision. It wasn't something I could just brush off. Rasheeda describes the emotional toll of even considering staying in the marriage. I had to ask myself if I was willing to forgive him, if I could let go of the anger and the hurt, she explains. The hardest part was realizing that I couldn't do it for him. I had to do it for myself. I had to decide if I wanted peace in my life and what moving forward looked like for me, whether that meant staying with him or letting go. Healing became her first priority. I couldn't just jump back into it. I had to heal first, Rasheeda says. I had to take care of myself before I could even think about what was next for us. Despite the pain, Rasheeda has made a conscious effort to work on their marriage, though she acknowledges that it hasn't been easy. We're trying, but it's not perfect, she admits. There are still days when the hurt comes back, when I remember what he did, and it feels like it's happening all over again. Even so, Rasheeda remains determined to move forward, taking things one step at a time. We're not where we used to be, but we're trying to rebuild, she says. It's not going to happen overnight, but I'm willing to try, for my peace and for my family. The affair's impact on their marriage has been profound, but Rasheeda has resolved to heal, no matter the outcome. I'm not sure what the future holds for us, she says, her voice strong, but I know that I'm going to be okay. I've been through the worst, and I'm still standing. That's something I'm proud of.